Hey everyone, today we're diving into something really important, how we can set a child up for success right from the very beginning. We're going to follow the path from a child's very first support plan all the way to their success in the classroom. And we'll be focusing specifically on how things work here in California with early start services.
So that's the big question, right? How do we do it? We're going to look at the systems and strategies that are designed to build this continuous bridge of support, starting from those crucial first moments of infancy and carrying them all the way into their school years.
All right, so where does this journey begin? It kicks off in that super critical window from birth to age 3. This is where the foundation for all future learning is really laid. And in California, we have a structured approach for this called Early Start. This is where it all begins.
You see, early intervention isn't just about the child. It's a system that's centered around the whole family, providing essential services to infants and toddlers who might have developmental delays or disabilities. And it all starts with a plan that's completely unique to that child and their family's needs.
Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to talk about the core document of this whole process, the IFSP. Now, if you're thinking about a career in early childhood education or anything related, this is a term you absolutely have to know. It's basically the blueprint for all the early support that follows.
So, what exactly is an IFSP? Well, it's a written plan for sure, but the key word here, and I can't stress this enough, is family. It's a roadmap that's built collaboratively, and it doesn't just document the child's needs and goals, but also the family's own worries, their priorities, and what they're hoping to achieve.
An IFSP is specifically for infants and toddlers, so from birth up to 3 years old, who meet certain criteria. But the most crucial piece of this puzzle is that the entire process puts the family at the center. They're seen as essential partners in their child's development from day one.
So what happens when a child turns 3? Does the support just stop? No way. It continues with a really carefully planned transition over to the local school district. This bridge from one system to the next is so critical to make sure none of that progress gets lost. And check out this timeline. It shows you just how structured that handoff really is. The process starts early, when the child is just 2.5. The goal is to have the next plan, called an IEP, ready to go by the child's 3rd birthday. This makes sure the transition is seamless, with absolutely no gap in support.
Okay, so we've got the plan. Now what? Let's switch gears and talk about what this looks like in the real world. What are some of the most effective hands-on strategies that you can actually use in a classroom to help students really thrive?
You know, it might sound almost too simple, but it really all starts with language. The way we describe a behavior can either open the door to a real solution, or it can slam it shut. Using vague labels just isn't helpful. We have to be specific. Oh man, this slide is a game changer. Just look at the difference here. He has a bad attitude. That's a judgment, right? But it takes him 10 minutes to start independent work. That's an observation. You can't measure an attitude, but you can absolutely measure time. Same thing with she never gets anything done. That's an exaggeration. But she doesn't bring homework in 4 out of 5 days. Now that's data. That's something you can actually work with. This shift is essential. So once you have that specific observable behavior, you can use this super simple but powerful tool to understand it, the ABC model. A is for antecedent. What was the trigger? B is for the behavior itself. And C is for the consequence. What happened right after? This little framework helps us get to the why behind a behavior, and that is the key to making a change. And with that understanding, we can start using some really proactive strategies. I mean, a positive atmosphere is huge, but so are simple things like giving genuine praise, just moving a little closer to a student, that's proximity control, and validating how they're feeling. And for more structured support, you can even use systems like token economies to really reinforce those good behaviors. Okay, we've talked a lot about managing behavior, but the real goal, the bigger picture here, is to proactively teach social skills. It's not just about stopping the negative stuff, it's about building up the positive stuff that's going to lead to success down the road. So what do we even mean when we say social skills? Well, they are the behaviors we use to get along with other people. Things like having a conversation, being assertive, solving problems. And here's the best part. They're not fixed personality traits someone is stuck with. They are skills. And what's great about skills? They can be taught. And how do we teach them? Well, it's a lot like teaching reading or math. We use really powerful active techniques, like modeling the right behavior, shaping it with positive reinforcement.
coaching with verbal tips, and letting students practice in a safe space through role-playing. But here's the thing, teaching a skill in a controlled setting, like a classroom, that's just step one. That's a great start, but it's not the end goal. A skill is only truly learned when it can be used anywhere, in any situation. The real goal is something called generalization.
This image here is the perfect way to think about it. The solid circle in the middle, that's the skill you taught. Generalization is when that skill starts to spread out, to dissolve into all the other parts of a student's life, out on the playground, in the cafeteria, back at home. That's the ultimate measure of success. That's when you know it's really clicked.
So as you can see, when you step back and look at the whole picture, there's this amazing, clear thread connecting everything. It all starts with a single foundational plan, like an IFSP, and through these targeted strategies and skill building, it opens up a whole world of possibilities for a child. So, I'll leave you with this to think about. After seeing this entire journey, from the earliest family plans to the complex skills needed in a classroom, if you could only change one thing in a child's environment to help them succeed, where would you start? Something to chew on. Thanks for watching.